Life in the 21st century is fast, noisy, and filled with endless distractions. We live in an age where a single notification can hijack our focus, where days slip by in a blur of obligations, and where genuine peace feels rare. But if you were to sit down with Seneca, one of the great stoic philosophers, he'd tell you that this isn't a new problem. Human beings have always struggled with wasted time, unnecessary fears, misplaced values, and the challenge of truly learning how to live. In this video, we'll explore 5 essential Seneca quotes that carry timeless wisdom. More than just words, these are practical tools you can apply in your everyday life to gain clarity, freedom, and strength. As we go through each one, I invite you not just to listen, but to reflect. Because philosophy, as Seneca reminds us, isn't meant to be admired from a distance, it's meant to be lived. 1. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Seneca begins with a reminder about the illusion of time. People often say life is short, but what he points out is that we actually have plenty of time. We just squander it. Think about how many hours vanish into scrolling through feeds, getting caught up in arguments that don't matter, or worrying about things we can't control. These hours pile up into days, weeks, and years. Modern example, have you ever opened your phone for just 5 minutes, only to look up an hour later wondering where the time went? Multiply that habit across months, and suddenly Seneca's words hit harder. Historical context. Even in ancient Rome, Seneca criticized people who spent their days chasing politics, gossip, or status, instead of living with intention. This wasn't a new human flaw, it's timeless. Practice. Tonight, write down how you spent your last 12 hours, which parts truly mattered, which were wasted. When you see it in writing, it becomes clear. Reflection prompt. Ask yourself, if I lived today again, would I be proud of how I spent it? 2. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Fear is powerful, not because of what actually happens, but because of what we imagine might happen. Seneca points out that most of our suffering never takes place in reality. Instead, it plays out in our minds, again and again. Example. Think about how often you've dreaded a conversation or feared failing at something, only to realize when the moment arrived, it wasn't nearly as bad as your mind had built it up to be. Modern connection. With the news cycle, social media, and constant comparison, we live in a culture of anxiety. We imagine catastrophes daily, most of which never happen. Stoic strategy. Next time you catch yourself spiraling, pause and ask, is this real, or am I just imagining it? If it's imagination, take a breath and return to the present. Anecdote. Seneca himself lived under the threat of Emperor Nero, one of Rome's most unpredictable rulers. Yet instead of letting fear dominate his life, he trained his mind to separate what was real from what was imagined. Write down one fear that's been holding space in your mind. Then ask, how much of this is happening right now? 3. He who is brave is free. For Seneca, freedom doesn't come from wealth, status, or even political rights. It comes from courage. Courage means daring to live according to your principles, even when fear whispers in your ear. Modern example. Many of us live imprisoned not by walls, but by the opinions of others. We want to post that idea, launch that business, or speak our truth, but fear of judgment stops us. Seneca himself was exiled by Emperor Claudius and later ordered to take his own life by Nero. Yet he consistently wrote about courage, not as something distant, but as a daily practice of living authentically, even when life is uncertain. Practical exercise. Do one small act of courage every day. Speak up in a meeting. Tell someone how you truly feel. Try something new you've been avoiding. These courage reps train you to expand your freedom. Ask yourself, where in my life am I being controlled by fear, and how would courage free me? 4. Wealth is the slave of a wise man and the master of a fool. Seneca wasn't against money. He was against being controlled by it. He saw wealth as a tool, something useful, but never the definition of a good life. Modern example. Many people today measure success by their bank accounts, cars, or houses. Yet we've all seen wealthy individuals who are miserable because money has become their master. Seneca himself was wealthy, yet he constantly reminded his students that wealth must serve virtue, not enslave us with greed. Before your next purchase, pause and ask, am I buying this because it serves me or because I'm serving an image? Try a simplicity day. Spend one day focused only on necessities: food, water, shelter, rest. Notice how little you actually need to feel content. Write down 3 things you already have that bring peace or joy. Ask, if I lost everything else, would these be enough? 5. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. Perhaps Seneca's most humbling advice: life is a constant classroom. We often assume wisdom comes with age, but Seneca challenges us to remain lifelong students. Modern example. With podcasts, courses, and endless content, we're flooded with knowledge. But Seneca asks, are you applying it? Are you actually learning how to live? Story connection. Even in his later years, Seneca studied philosophy daily, writing letters filled with reflections and lessons. He saw learning as a daily discipline, not a one-time achievement. At the end of each day, ask, what did life teach me today? Write it down. Over time, you'll build your own handbook of wisdom. Pause and consider, what is life teaching me right now that I've been ignoring? Seneca's wisdom reminds us that philosophy isn't abstract, it's practical. Life isn't short, we waste it. Fear belongs more to imagination than reality. Freedom belongs to the brave. Wealth should serve you, not enslave you. And as long as you breathe, you should keep learning how to live. If even one of these quotes resonates, take it with you today. Write it down, reflect on it, and practice it. Because the value of Stoicism lies not in hearing these words, but in living them. So, ask yourself, which of Seneca's lessons will I start practicing today?